Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Jasmine, part of Jasmine's Eternal Circle. Today we'll be looking at an overview, a glimpse into October, if you will, and we'll be looking at what the tarot and what spirit has to say. So below I have my decks. So I have the Wildwood Tarot, I have the Light Seers Tarot, and I also have my Gypsy Fortune Tarot as well. You guys can see that. Okay. So it's up to you to pick a deck that resonates for you. And then we'll begin. If you haven't picked your deck, just pause this and then pick your deck. And if there's no deck that resonates with you, don't worry. It's not meant to be. So I'll go ahead with the Wildwood Tarot. So the first week we have exploitation. The second week we have challenge. Third week we have ecstasy. And the fourth week we have creativity. I have the sense that perhaps the first week of October there'll be feelings of being run down, or perhaps even being drained, more so of being drained by those around in, like, say, the workforce, or even perhaps close connections such as family. If you are running, say, a business, people trying to kind of pinpoint you for deals that are non-existent, so trying to guilt trip you into perhaps making deals with them by stating that your work is too expensive for them to buy, or try to haggle prices with you, okay? Or perhaps that coworker of yours is trying to pawn another shift off of you, and it's just very draining on you, and it's causing some fatigue and a little bit of stress. Okay, this is what leads into the second week, right? And this is where you're gonna just be like, this is enough for me. Okay. And at some point, everyone eventually has their breaking point, and that's going to be your breaking point. Is the second week of October is when you say, okay, this is enough. Like, I'm not going to be putting up with any more of this crap, basically, through and through. I'm not going to be putting up with anyone's crap right now. I need to stand up for myself, and this is it. This is it. The third week, okay, this is about you finally coming into your own and feeling empowered, okay, and feeling this kind of free flow coming through, and channeling that through you. Okay, that empowerment from the second week is following through into the third week. Okay, and you're feeling that for yourself, and you're feeling that you're feeling in tune with that. I don't know, I'm missing all the words right now, but that empowerment and feeling in tune with everything around you, all right, and almost like this floaty sensation and feeling above it, okay, really enjoy this moment and celebrate at this point in time, okay? Gather these ideas and these thoughts and write them down somewhere, because you're going to be needing these thoughts and ideas when you get to this stage here on the fourth week, okay? And this is where we will let this creativity that is coming through from the third week, and let this actually start to flow through, and really embrace this creativity that is flowing through for the fourth week, okay? Especially if it's going to be in terms of a new kind of like business venture, or it is part of your business, or you're thinking of it being a part of your business. Really kind of let this flow, and let it be a part of you. Creativity can be many different things. It could be paints, it can be music, it can be dance, okay, it can be many different facets, and it can help with a lot of things, not just on business side of things, but it can also help with a lot of other things, for emotional stability. It can help with mental stability too. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a business related thing, but it can also be for mental and emotional well-being too. Moving on to the Light Seers Tarot. Just when you think you get them to bed. first week we have the Eight of Wands. Okay. There is some learning and some relearning of skills and mastery to be had. Okay. However, there are also accomplishments too in this week too, of the first week. You have overcome some hurdles, but there are still some things that you are working out and resolving, and that's where the relearning and learning comes into play. So whatever successes that you've had, you are still kind of learning from those successes, so that way you can better the outcome for next time. So that's where you're at right now for that first week. Right? So it's pretty much like you're building on those skill sets. The second week we have Justice. All right. Don't be so concerned about what's happened or what is happening to you at this juncture. Okay. You need to let universe handle what has happened or what is happening. Okay, you need to be trusting in what universe has in store. Okay, there is going to be balance that is going to be restored. Okay, so whether that has something to do with a close relationship, whether that be platonic or family or a relationship, whoever has done an injustice against you, you need to trust that universe has got your back, and that's going to be resolved. Okay. That energy will be resolved, and that will return to balance and be restored. All right. For the third week, we have the Four of Wands. Okay, this is the time that you need to kick up your heels, celebrate. Okay, celebrate those accomplishments and those hurdles that you've overcome. When it comes to your triumphs and successes that you've made with your career or your schooling. All right. So passing your exams or opening your business or getting that new position or new career, new job. Okay, these are the things that we celebrate when we end up with the Four of Wands. And this is the message that is coming through. So it's time to celebrate with those around you, and share those successes and spread some of that joy around. The last week we have the King of Cups. Okay. don't feel that this is a new person coming into your life. However, this is a time for more of a self-reflection of your own emotional state, as a reminder. Get in touch of your own emotions and of your own self-care and romantic side, if you will. Okay, and be in balance with your emotions. Okay, because you've been more focused on your career path and realigning with and being more imbalanced with your career and getting your career foothold and making sure that everything is balanced, as it comes to justice and karma and your career, or school, what have you. But you haven't really been focusing too much on your emotional status, and it's time now to kind of take a look at balancing your emotional part of your side. As much as we want to focus on the mundane of making sure we're stable, financially, abundantly, okay, we sometimes forget that there's other components in our life that we need to focus on. And we need to remember that we also need to focus on other components. And maybe we sometimes forget that our emotions and our emotional state, our mental health, is also an important component as well. So that might be coming up for you, is to kind of take a moment and to just be one with your emotions and balance those emotions out. All right. Because like I said, I don't foresee someone stepping in. It's more of a reflection time for yourself, and it's more of a getting in touch and being able to balance your emotional side and having that time to feel yourself and be one with yourself, and a little bit less focus from one aspect to another. All right. Balance is very key for you. All right. And learning to balance between all these components is very important. Too much focus in one area is you need to be able to balance all these components, because if there's too much focus on one, then you're lacking in the other, and then you kind of forget to kind of work on the other side of things too, and then you got a whole lot of catching up to do, and it can get a little bit messy. So take some time to work on your emotional side of things. Okay, Gypsy Fortune. first card for the first week of October, Fireplace. Everything is where it should be at this time of moment. Okay, your first week is where it should be, whether or not it is slow, whether or not it is quick. Everything is where it should be. Okay. There is stability within this week for you, which is great. Okay. It seems like a pretty average week for you. Okay, nothing out of the ordinary. And everything is the way that it should be. Okay. For your second week, we have the Pig. Okay. Be careful about what you do with your abundance. Be careful about your wants. Be careful about your desires. Okay. Perhaps you are becoming a little bit too greedy. All right. You have to really compare between greed and necessity, wants and necessities at this point in time. Okay. You need to start looking at that a little bit more closer, because it's always a good idea to figure out when to stop that type of habit. Are you perhaps overspending because of the fact that you are feeling down? Are you overspending because you can? Are you overspending because of the fact that there's some type of troubles going on? Okay. Always plan to save a little extra on the side. Okay, never hurts at all. So always be wary about what you do. Okay, remember, necessity over wants. Okay. Okay, we have lilies. There's a message coming through for you during the third week. And it might not be the message that you're exactly wanting to hear for this week, for some of you. Okay. It could be also could be as simple as you have a bill, an unexpected bill to pay for car troubles. Okay. Whatever this message is coming for you, it's definitely not a message that you were expecting. Okay, so be prepared for this third week coming up. It's not exactly the one that you wanted to hear, but you'll be able to deal with it. It's not anything like groundbreaking, but it's just more of a headache and an annoyance, if anything. Last one is we have a house. The thing we need to consider is we have to look at our house as our safety zone, right? Our house keeps our stuff safe. You need to consider, is your home safe? Okay. Do you feel that your home is safe? Do you feel that your environment is safe? And that can be also metaphorical too, as in with yourself. Do you feel secure within yourself? Are you feeling vulnerable at this time? Do you feel like you need extra protections around you at this time? Can you amplify your protections at this time? It's never a bad idea to practice extra spiritual protections. Okay, never a bad idea. As for your home and your environment in itself, you can always put down black salt or salt around the premises of your home as a safeguard, or cedar or sage, okay, as a safety net, or do it energetically, okay. So really just consider adding an extra kind of oomph of protection is what I'm hearing for this week. Okay, it would make sense as we look at the last weeks of October. We head into full moon. Full moon has a funny way of dealing with energies and stuff like that. So maybe take a look at amplifying protections. And we'll do energy read for the October for the group. See what message comes in. Woohoo! October's energy. Let's see. Grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Yes. Well then. I mean, yes. So if we look at it, if we lose something, right? Lose something that we value, whether it be someone close to us, a pet, a friendship, okay, a job, something valuable, a trinket maybe, okay, it can cause us to appreciate it even further, okay. And with that appreciation, right, we come to appreciate other things in our life, like the roof over our heads, the friendships that we do have, the loved ones that are still around, and we kind of start to value things a little bit more, and we start to perceive things a little bit differently. So, I mean, that in itself is a great lesson to learn, and I think that is a very important lesson to learn, especially for most of us, that we kind of forget. And that's a very interesting energy to be having for October. So, anyways, I hope you all enjoyed your little reading for October, and I hope you all have an amazing month. And as always, much warmth to you all, and may you all keep safe.